Alright. How are you?
I'm good, yeah. How are you?
I'm doing alright. Did you send the link to my dad as well?
I'll do that. Just a second.
I just forwarded it to him.
No problem.
Um, are you feeling better?
I lost you for a second.
Are you feeling better now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough trip, huh?
Very much. In fact, first 2, 3 days I was okay, but after that, a kind of, sickness for next 20, 25 days.
Oh boy. That's not good.
That's not good, yes.
Well, at least you made a recovery.
Yeah. I think I'm all right since last weekend because I think that was a very big weekend over here.
Yeah, I heard. Okay.
Hi Kaushal,
Hi, Roger. How are you?
good, how are you?
I'm good.
It just gave me a big warning when I logged on. People who you do not know will be able to watch you and there's nothing private.
No, it's just because it's part of that whole Prodeo thing, that's why.
Okay. Karen is logged on now.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey Karen.
Good.
Okay guys, so talk to me about who did you make this for and um, how did you get involved with that?
Uh, so we have a client which is like an agency, and we sort of do all the work for them,
Okay.
and uh, over there the role is not product definition. So we have two kinds of businesses. One is where it's pure outsourcing kind of work, where my team just executes the project.
Okay.
That is the case with most of the work coming from US. And the second, where we sit together with the clients and try to structure the product by giving them ideas of do this or don't do this.
Okay.
So that's how, with RSA, that's how I am connected, because I was defining and designing his product for him, and also kind of from the business strategy perspective.
So
So
this is
this
for a
is,
client in New York.
yeah, these guys are New York based.
Okay. So when you say haulers, you probably mean couriers, right? Same day delivery, package delivery services.
Uh, no, I think the end guys in haulers was for waste hauling, like uh, like the carriers of this kachara.
Oh,
Oh,
that makes
I see. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
But it can be made into any purpose. I mean, the idea is to schedule a pickup and give a real-time tracking to the shipper and make sure the goods get delivered to the appropriate place and send a confirmation of that.
precisely, in fact, the see this uh, um, this POC kind of gives you the kind of user experience that if you try to show the end guy, this does not have the business layer. This does not have, the pricing element, the route element, the specific cargo that that guy has. Those kind of business related elements are missing. However, he still gets, so when you are doing a conversation with somebody and you show this demo and you show him, that imagine that there will be these three steps also, but then this is what you do and this is what you end up finally, seeing the number and you pay, and the thing is booked, and the guy comes and you get this kind of notification an hour or two before the guy is arriving, and that's how the whole operation happens. Then what I needed, and what I was hoping for, is that the document that you have given me, uh, and if you carry this POC and if you meet a couple of people and if that gets validated, that will be a surer footing for developing the whole product. Because like I said in my mail, that this technology infrastructure is the 25% of the whole thing, but the remaining 75% is to build the business logic around it, and the expectations of the user, and how various business policies will be linked, and how do you structure the dashboard to make sure that the business as well as the haulers and the end customers are on same page.
Right. So,
All right. So with the product, like I know on this one, it almost functions like a broker. They post whatever their pickup is. It comes to the platform, and then from there they ship out or they choose a hauler to come and get it. We'd be able to. I know what you're saying. You're saying take this to the market, show people, see how the reactions they get, see if it's viable. Um, but if we had to make certain changes where instead of just coming to our platform, it'll ping all the drivers in the area, and it'll allow them to then choose, and then we just kind of keep track of things, kind of automating the entire process, and integrating with maps, so you can actually see where the drivers are, and the same way with Uber, you can see where the drivers are, and doing all that.
So, Karin, can you repeat your last point because I lost it a little bit because of the accent.
Okay, so we can automate it to the point where it instead of just coming to the platform where we see that an order came in, and then when we choose for a shipper to pick it up, instead of that, we could have it so that it pings all the truck drivers in the area, and one of them can choose to pick it up. And then it also integrates with the maps so that we can see where the truck drivers are on the maps, sort of like with Uber. Um, that all will be able to be built out in the future, I'm assuming. But I understand what you're saying as far as going and showing them how easy it is to plan the shipping, which is something that we will do. Uh, but with all of that extra stuff added, do you still feel that this is about 25% of what we need? And if so, how long do you think it would take to build out the rest?
Karin, just one second. Meet, can you switch off your camera?
who?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just checking because the sound quality is bad.
Okay, did you hear me, or should I repeat myself?
Yeah, even I found it hard to understand because of sound quality, Karen.
Yeah. So
Sorry,
can you,
storm here, so it's been kind of spotty lately. Um, can you hear me now?
now it's
Yeah,
much better. All of us are off video, so I think it's much better.
Okay, so I'll start over. Um, so I understand what you're saying as far as using as a proof of concept, going to the market and saying, we can make deliveries this much easier by allowing people to just kind of press a button and then we can schedule it out. I understand what you're saying. I mean, that's definitely a good idea to test it out that way. Um, when it comes to actually building out the platform that we are looking to build, right now it looks like it just pings it just updates a platform that we as a business deal with, and then they ship it, and then they choose a shipper from there. It would be possible, right, within the next, I believe you gave us a 6-month timeline. It'd be possible to build out in the next 6 months, where it doesn't just go to our platform, but in fact pings all the shippers around the area, and they can pick, and then they can choose to pick it up, and then it integrates with the map where you can see the shippers, such as like.
Possi Possible to build. Possible to build.
And
We have done that too, and so that piece in Transporto or Turant as we are running over here, in that model, the thing goes like an Uber-like format to the drivers, and they are able to pick the delivery. So yeah, that's possible within time frame.
okay,
In fact, I
so
consider that as a technology infrastructure only, and I'm considering that as part of the same, that 25-30% we are saying, because we've already built the thing where the ping goes out to the drivers, relevant drivers based on policy. The guy will accept or reject. If the nobody picks up, then it goes out multiple times. On the dashboards, you should be able to see the total number of drivers who are around and where are those guys located at each point. When somebody picks up, then various stages of the journey that they are in, and post conclusion of the ride, invoicing happening automatically, and the invoice getting automatically sent on the email ID of the client. So all those pieces are built out.
okay, fantastic.
Yeah, so those can be, of course, there is some element of integration with the way we want to organize the business. And that's where I was saying that, that this infrastructure piece is available with us where we can reconfigure it in terms of how the business piece of it has to be structured. So, mm, the point is that if you find this POC and your document to be sort of when you go out and meet people and show them uh, this POC along with the way you have structured your own document, the requirement, the way you are envisaging. Then my point is that if there is any flow to be altered over there, you should come to know that flow, and accordingly, we can start planning the user experience where we will require more frequent conversations. The reason why I am not able to imagine that piece is that unlike in India, where I very clearly know how people think and operate, so I will be telling you there will be screen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is how they will interact. Uh, Over there, I will need inputs from you apart from the document that you've given.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So one way to sort of do this is for you to go out over next couple of days to identify the personas. So persona is there is definitely a shipper, and there is definitely the truck guy. Uh, and to meet them and discuss with them along with this app your documentation, and from that come to some sort of a flow related feeling on it. And then post that we start having a conversation where we start defining this will be screen 1, screen 2, screen 3, etc. I think that conversation will take us weekly 3, 4, 5 rounds of these kind of conversations, and it'll last for 2 weeks or something. But post that, I will have a very clear idea of the flow, and that is where we were stuck last time when I was interacting with Roger and Ranga, because uh, I had two options. One is they tell me explicitly this is how the user journey for various uh, uh, parties will be, and the
Mhm.
second option was if I am not told the user journey, then I wanted the API documentations of various mm, uh,
Freight carriers.
the logistics guys basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah. So if I
FedEx.
got yeah, so if I got their API documentation, then I would be able to imagine based on whatever they are offering. I would be able to imagine that this is how logically the flow should be for a guy who is a shipper, and this is where he will begin, and this is the next step that he will see. But that would require me to have the API documentation of those guys.
But I send it to you. You have that.
No, no, but that does not. It's just a XML documentation. I had explained to you that time that it's just an XML documentation, but it does not define which routes are available and things like that. And from that, we also had to pick that which routes we want to operate on and what criterias of or what kind of cargo we want to start with, things like that.
I see.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. We should definitely go out and put together the user experience.
So, Kaushal, I'm a little concerned about this. The the user experience on this one is not what I envisioned for a platform.
Right, right. He's saying, use this and then put together the user experience based on how other people react to it.
Yeah, so basically, my whole, in fact, in the platform that you created in Bombay for Transporto or Turant
Yeah,
is more in line with what we envisioned, like a U-ship of India. So we were doing the same thing for Houston. But now this is totally, like you said, is a hauler business, or maybe it can even translate into courier business. One package, two package, three package, here's the pricing, etc. So
right.
I'm a little concerned how this will integrate into our trucking platform easily, and how the user experience will look like, which I
Um,
don't.
so I think that the the point of this is We are not going to carry over anything from what I have given the curbside video. We are not going to take anything from there
Okay.
uh, onto what we are going to do.
Okay.
However, since Transporto's platform is very difficult for me to give it to you in a replicatable form in US,
Okay.
even if there was no business layer, because there are all sort of pieces, like for example, it only operates between in Bombay and in Delhi. There are 6 areas of Delhi in which it will operate. So if I give you the app, for example, for you to even fidget, then it will require me to create 6 geographical areas in US, and it will require me to set policies for those areas and pricing for those areas and the types of vehicles for those areas. After that, you will be able to just use that product like a POC thing on at your end. So,
Okay.
so I've taken a shortcut that this is a kind of, it gives a basic idea of how the whole thing will operate, uh, uh, and just use it at that extent. If you want to sort of, validate with your users and understand, whether your flow is correct or not. And based on that, we move immediately to definition of the actual UX that we are talking, that for which I will require, lots of interaction with Karin. uh, and from that we will of course then I can send you a similar video of I can send Karin because he's not seen a similar video of Turant platform working over here in India, and
Okay.
he can use that also as a kind of a reference. But the whole point is that I can't replicate the Transporto product and can't configure it to you. It will take me 15-20 days just to configure that POC to give it in your hand.
Okay.
So that's the difficulty that I've chosen to kind of sidestep and give a smaller POC which I can do it in 2-3 days.
I see. But this POC, what's it called, Curbside, it
Curbside.
can integrate into a full-blown transportation platform.
Uh, so this is just an idea, and we have the various. So here is what I want to, I'm re-emphasizing the point, but that when you build such a platform like Uber-like platform, as you would say,
Uh-huh.
the 30% activity is on the technical infrastructure. The technical infrastructure for what? That your apps, or the trucker's app will continuously relay his locations. His locations are visible to us on the dashboard. When a particular trucker is in a particular area, and if there is a demand coming from a shipper which is an instant demand, then based on his location we will run an algorithm to find out whether he falls in a certain criteria, commercial as well as radius wise. these are
Okay.
the these are all the technical aspects, and that the technical infrastructure that constitutes, I think, just 30% of the effort. The real thing is to build that, when your the shipper, the customer arrives, what does he see, what are the price points that he sees, those
Right.
price, and how do you structure that bit in the US environment. I think that is the more commercial part of it. And I also see in your document that there are various layers related to that. That is the larger part to be encoded. So,
Okay.
so uh, that's a long way of answering that. Don't worry about this particular POC and whether we'll be able to integrate that, because that's the 30% part of it, which is just the technical infrastructure on which we have confidence that there is no reason to worry about that part. The
Okay.
more important part to take care is, to get the end user and his journey and his whatever value propositions and the problem that you're trying to solve, to get that right, and then to build those pieces into our app. That is more relevant than the technology parts. So we will be able to integrate those other things. That's no issues.
Okay. So I always had the confidence that you will be able to do that. The question now is, so we've seen this POC, you're already working on Transporto slash Turant. Uh, when do I get to see something that I can show to my investors?
The answer to that is Karen has to sit with me.
Yeah.
He has to take me through multiple rounds of screen 1, screen 2, screen 3, those definitions at a broad level. I may not need the actual definition of which data entry points, uh, but we have to define how things work over there, on a screen by screen basis, and once that is over, then I can actually begin my programming. That was where we got stuck last time also, because that's what I was asking from Ranga. And
Yeah, but there's a uship.com platform. That's pretty explanatory.
uh,
I mean,
that's
that's
only
what we're looking to do.
right. That's It's
Not
only the
up 100%, but pretty much that was our business model.
so this
It's a
time around the,
yeah,
sorry.
it's a marketplace, so that's what we were looking to do as far as ship it platform goes.
But there was a divergence at one point. We were talking in terms of the Expedia of logistics,
Right,
and that required me to have those API access and all that.
right.
And yeah, so
It's a
once
it's a it's a hybrid proposition. The way I look at it, this is not only the Expedia, it's a hybrid of Expedia and Uber because Expedia model for us is a low hanging fruit in the sense we can immediately access the APIs of the freight carriers and then throw the rates to the shipper. Shipper sees the rates, 20 rates. He says, okay, I'm going to select this one. Seems like the cheapest rate for the shortest amount of time, and he schedules his pickup. That is a low hanging fruit. We can immediately go to market and get commercialized. The the tougher model was the Uber model, which eventually is what we want to have because with the large carriers, for example, FedEx, UPS, Roadway, Central Freight, what they do or what they might do is when they see us getting too big, they'll cancel us out. They'll say we don't want to work with you.
right,
So we don't want to depend on them for a livelihood. So while we're doing the low hanging fruit and getting big and getting enough traction, we will also start contracting with independent or bringing on board independent truck drivers, which in USA 90% of trucks are independently owned between 1 and 6 trucks per outfit.
right,
Those are companies we have to go after, and that onboarding will take some time.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this was the low hanging fruit for us, the APIs for LTL carrier, but for all the other business besides the LTL, is the Uber model that will work. So it's the only model that will be a combination of both. Actually, Uship is already doing that. If you go to uship.com, they're already doing that.
yeah. I've actually seen it, and it's just that this transformation, matlab this, the earlier conversations and these conversations are kind of different. And I'll tell you what I need from my side. And earlier, that's where we stopped also, is that I need somebody from your side who can interact and can let me help me define the early stages of the product from where I can take on, because I don't understand how things operate over there.
Okay, so how about this? How about this? Dad, you and I can meet today, and
Yes.
Kaushal, we'll go through a lot of it. If you could send me the actual mobile application, I think I gave you the that number you needed. Um,
Yes,
just really
And
quick.
also the link, video link to the transporter or Turant.
yes. So I
If
will
you can
do
send
both.
those today, because I'm thinking of meeting one of the investors and one of those uh, someone who's interested in this. I'm planning to meet them. So I'm going to show them both the platforms, the one you just sent for curbside and the next one that you're going to send.
Yeah. So I can send you the other video tomorrow,
Okay?
and I will configure the curbside IPA, like I said, in next couple of days. Unfortunately, it was like 15th August, and we have Raksha Bandhan over here. But somewhere in next 2 3 days, I will configure that and give you the IPA for that also.
Okay. So I look forward to those. And Karen
Yes.
and I get together now, and I'm gonna have Karen figure out. Karen, you understood everything he said?
Yeah, I understand.
And
Okay.
I think what we should do is in this week, while you know have a look at both these things and look at your document and speak between yourself. And from next week onwards, I'll schedule a couple of calls where over next 2 weeks between me and Karen we'll be able to work out. I'll give you an example. Just a second. राम ने अपलोड किया है क्या? नया वाला यूएक्स अपलोड किया है ऑटो राउंडर का नो I wanted that because I could have shown that to Karen how the process is going to work. I think uh, oh, okay, let me do one thing. I'll share with you, Karen, a kind of a user experience which will help you uh, sort of how I need certain points where I need inputs from your side, and that's why I need those 1 or 2 weeks where you will have conversations with them apart from the document that you have shared, because the document does lay out a lot of things, but I need those kind of inputs. So I'll share you an example of the UX and where I need the inputs from you.
Okay, yeah, I understand. That's no problem.
Yeah. So let's begin this process next week, and I think as soon as the whole the inputs from your side is over uh, on the UX, we can begin with the actual coding part.
Okay, sounds good.
All
Okay,
right.
so I'm gonna meet Karen, then shoot up an email to you. In the meantime, enjoy the day or the evening. And Karen, are we gonna meet today?
Yeah, why don't I just Skype you after this?
Okay. All right. Kaushal, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. And let's share the link. And in fact, if you go to Turan.com, can we see something that's already done?
But you won't see the app. I mean, you won't see it. So I think it's better that I send you a link because you need to see the driver side of it also in the video. Otherwise, it will not make a point to you.
Right, right.
Over here, what will happen is if you are outside, then it will not allow you to download the app. Then if you are not from the area, that is the Delhi area, then it will not allow you as a customer only. So I mean, there's no point in downloading that app for you.
I see. Okay, okay. All right, then we look forward to your link.
Sure, sir.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Kaushal.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Okay. Bye. Bye, Karim.